Hello, hello. I don't know if I'm live. Facebook tells me I'm live after I go live. Okay, I'm live. Whew, it told me I'm live. Awesome. Hello and welcome, beautiful, beautiful, amazing sacred souls. Welcome to the third day of Prosperous and On Purpose Challenge. I'm going to ask you to just start popping in the comments. Just let me know you're here. I'm just going to warm us up, give you a chance to hop in, give you a chance to show up. I just literally finished one call with my mentor and I'm right into this. So I'm on this really amazing, expansive energy. But what I usually love to do to prepare for these calls is do a little dance. And I'm not doing it because I went from call to call. And literally part of me wants to be like, let's get into a dance right now. But if I do that, I cannot stay on Facebook because there are rights to the songs and they'll take my Facebook down and all of that. So so I'll just pretend I'm wiggling. Wiggle with me, all right? Just move it up, move it up, move it up, move it up, move it up. Okay, awesome, Joanne. Yay. Okay, so you can see me. Perfect. Day three. Can you believe that like in a 5-day span, we are at the halfway point today? I feel like I'm just getting started, like I'm just warming up, getting to know you, feeling your energy, and we are literally at the halfway point. Hello, Pamela. Hello, Ivana. So awesome to have you here. So, woohoo, day 3 of us owning our prosperity and our purpose, claiming ourselves as prosperous and on purpose. So I'll do a little recap and then we'll open up the space and we'll dive into what today is about. If you watched, I did a bonus transmission yesterday. Now, for those of you who are watching the recording, I did the transmission in Facebook. I'm going to ask Lana, my assistant, to download it and put it on YouTube and send you the link to it too, because I realized if you are not on Facebook, you didn't see it. I was hiking yesterday after the live and I was just, I was inspired, guided to share something with you about creatives and artists and how dear of a spot they hold in my heart and why it is so important to recognize our creativity right now. In that live, I also shared that I had a download of what it is that I wanted to invite you to, because I know there are people who are watching me who are already working with me, but there are many who have never worked with me before and just want to get a taste of what it's like to be in my space. So I got a download I will be sharing with you. I completely changed what I was planning on doing because this came in so clearly. I'm like, I'm here to be of service, and this is how I get to serve. So, day 3, Libby, Lauren, Rachel, hello, my beautiful, beautiful women. I love having you here. I know there are men in this crowd, in this group. I know that you hear, but most of the audience are women. So I mostly refer to women, but I honor you men for being in this beautiful space with us, in this beautiful sacred space that we get to create. So I was on a call up until like 30 seconds before I got on this live, so I didn't get to light up the candle. I'm going to do it right now. Our special sacred candle for this challenge is burning now. So we are in a sacred space. Day 3, to recap, on day 1, we talked about your purpose being who you came here to be. It's a set of characteristics you came here to embody. It's a particular way that you came here to show up in the world that nobody else but you can. And when you recognize and tap into that way of being, you are then connected to that very unique frequency that only you can bring down. And once you are in that frequency, the opportunities, the next steps, the thing you came here to do shows up. And it's not fixed because that changes. The only fixed thing is that you flow most beautiful, unique frequency that nobody else but you can. And it's needed in a world. That's the only thing that's fixed. What we did was we freed ourselves from the perception and definition of purpose being something you're here to do, which is fixed from that definition. It is fixed, and if you don't get to do it in a particular way, what, did you miss your purpose, right? Or then the question of, am I doing the right thing pops in, which takes us out of being in our beautiful, expansive frequency of service to the world, which is step number 2. Your purpose is yours. It's your responsibility to own the frequency that you are here to bring in in a very unique way. However, it is not for you. So on day 2, yesterday, we spoke about how everything you want, need, require, and desire comes to you through other people. When you are in your frequency of service in a world, contributing in a particular way, which is aligned with who you be, then you are here in a relationship with the people that are waiting for you, your divine appointments. I call them divine appointments, agreements we've made at the soul level, came here to co-create with you. And whether it's your clients, your customers, your patients, or your collaborators, right, your peers, the community you are in, all of that is part of you owning that, or even just a little bit accepting that purpose is yours. It's your responsibility to bring in your frequency and really claim it this lifetime. However, it is not for you. It is not for you. It is for other people. And the freedom in that is that first you can get out of your own way of doubt, fear, questioning, is this the right thing I'm doing? Is this the right path or not? When you get into this second step, which is you are here to be of service to humanity with your frequency, then all the right steps show up, and you put being of service to humanity ahead of your own crazy stories that stop you from contributing, right? In whatever way that you do. It actually gives you freedom to say, I'm going to keep moving forward, not for me, but because I am here to bring in something unique that nobody else but I can, for the people who I have committed to do it with, and they're waiting for me. So now I get to be in relationship and contribution and co-creation with them. And if you guys know me, you know Mikey, he's letting me know that he's here. He hasn't shown up in a while because my partner works from home. And when my partner works from home, he is in his office with the door closed, and Mikey loves to be there. But my partner left for lunch. So Mikey lets me know he's still present. Don't you just love it? If you have an animal, isn't it great to have them around, work from home, and they can be by you? So great. All right, let me check in with you really quickly in the messages. Hello, Elizabeth, Stacy. Stacy, we pray for more masculine energy to join us on this journey for the benefit of all. Let me talk to that for a second. It's beautiful. Okay, hold on. What did you do, Facebook? Oh, Anna from Paris. Oh, I love it. And it's evening in Paris. Good evening. Bella, beautiful to see you. Ray, so great to have you. Wonderful. Okay. So day 3, before we get into the day 3, I think I gave everybody enough time to pop on. Again, Facebook doesn't tell me who's here with me right now unless you put a message in. So if you could just say hi, at least I know you're here, and I'm not just talking to myself, right? I'm talking to you, being in the energy of you. And hi, Mikey. Yeah, he's a precious 20-pound little bundle of love. I call him the love ambassador because when people see him, they literally smile immediately, and it's just heartwarming. He's a love ambassador. I'll pass it on, Anna. So day 3, before we get into the context of day 3, I just want to ground us. So close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath. And let yourself feel the beautiful richness of everything that you have become aware of for the last 2 days. Let it be known, let it be known to you in your body that things are shifting, that your awareness is shifting. And I know I get it from your emails, I get it from your Facebook posts that I love to read, that you're having ahas and you're seeing things. And that is just the most beautiful thing, where you engage in something and it actually shows you something you didn't see before, and you're taking action, aligned action based on that, and it creates results that you otherwise couldn't even imagine. So get present to everything you need and require is already here right now inside of you. And even what I'm sharing is just a mirror, a reflection, a response to your request that you are making at the soul level. And on a day 1, I led us through a quick dropping of the cord. I'm welcome you to do that right now. Ground yourself in whatever way you do. So drop your grounding cord, connect to the cosmic energy, the energy of oneness, unity, of love, all that is. Let both of them start flowing through you. The galactic energy, the cosmic energy, and the energy of the earth flow through you. You being the beautiful chalice, channel, the vehicle for what wants to come through every single being in a very unique way right now, what wants to be expressed from life source, God. And again, if you've been watching me, when I say God, I mean whatever way you say it, goddess, source, life force, universe, it's all the same to me right now. God used to carry a frequency of big angry guy in the sky that's looking down on me and judging me. I grew up Catholic. Nothing wrong with any religion, they're beautiful. And I healed many wounds. So now when I say God, it's the life force, it's the universe, it's the creation that flows through all of us in a very unique way, that wants to express itself and experience itself through each and every single one of us in a way that it cannot through anybody else. And right now, with everything happening and intensifying all over the planet, United States, hurricanes that are square dancing and fires and that fishing lake by where I live, and just the violence, the messaging, all of that is happening. We'll be talking about that today from a different perspective, but that's just shadow showing us all the places where we have been in denial about what's going on, where we have been covering our eyes and pretending it doesn't exist. We have been doing it for ourselves in our lives, and it's now mirroring out in the world. We've been doing it as a collective, and nobody is excluded. It's not them or us. As within, so without. As above, so below. As below, so above. As one, so all. And even though we have unique experiences, we are all creating our reality in a way that fits where we are right now. Like it or not. Be in reverence as you take another breath. Be in reverence of you being alive right now in this physical body. You are not some floating being right now, and they're there. I believe there are. And I honor them and I invite them to be here with us right now. All the co-creative forces and guides and all the support that wants to be here with us right now. Yet you that I'm speaking to right now, you who is being here with us today, is in a physical body for a reason that nobody else can fulfill but you. And with all that's going on, there is a frequency you are here to anchor right now in humanity in a beautiful way that is needed. There are many people who have no luxury or no opportunity to be awakened to another way. But you and I are. And there is no wrong or right about that. It just means that we have a job to do. And we can no longer hide, pretend, make up stories, use obstacles, challenges as reasons to stop us. We are being called to show up. This is why I'm holding this challenge, prosperous and on purpose, because tomorrow is going to be decided by what we choose today. And I am a stand for us creating the most beautiful, loving, abundant, co-creative, collaborative legacy. When you're ready, open your eyes. Let's see who else is here. Molly, did I think? Oh my gosh, I remembered. Molly, I got it right. Lori, yes. Paula, beautiful. Stephanie, Michelle, Ricky, so wonderful to have you. So wonderful to have you. We are co-creating this experience. You who are here live, thank you for being here with me, because you are contributing your energy for me to tap into what needs to come through for us all to have the most beautiful, powerful, transformative experience. Everybody who's watching in the recording, you are just as included. You are just as collaborative with us right now in the moment. I'm holding space for all of us right now. And all of us are in this together. And I invite you one more time to be in the energy of, even though we are in front of screens, we can't touch, we don't feel, the auras that we are. I'm inviting you to stretch into belief right now. Your mind will do what you tell it to do. So ask your mind to create that you are in an experience where all of us are together in a room. And energetically, I am creating all of you being in a beautiful circle. And there are several hundred people who are watching it through the recording live and participating in this. And I am creating that all of us in this beautiful circle. And your energy, you have many auras, many bodies. Physical awareness is just one of them. Your physical and emotional presence is right here, right now, as you are participating in this experience. And I'm sensing you. Internet doesn't have to be a unique experience and a scary foreign experience. It gets to be a way we get to connect despite of whatever is going on. Right? Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about day 3. The magic ingredient. Woo, woo, woo. When I got into hand analysis, what I became aware of is law of polarity. And over time, those of you who know me know that I use scientific hand analysis as the tool. It's been a godsend in my life, and it's been creating magic for my clients ever since. I use other tools. I use gene keys, which create the same kind of experience, and human design, which again operates on the same kind of a system, which is there is a law of polarity. And the law of polarity says that when one end exists, the other must exist as well. It's where we focus is what we create, right? So law of polarity says that you cannot have light without shadow. You cannot have mastery without learning, right? The student path is what we call it in hand analysis. There is a master path and a student path. Mastery is where you reach a certain level, and a student path is where you get to keep learning, right? And there is no right or wrong with either one of them. However, until we incorporate and integrate both into our experience, we are always going to be operating from something's missing. So I love when, hold on, I want to make sure, Stacy, I want to give credit where credit is due, right? Stacy mentioned that we want more masculine energy. Well, I know Stacy probably knows this, so I'm going to presence this. We all carry masculine and feminine energy in us. Everything has masculine and feminine energy in it. Let me just say every human being, because somebody will say, well, this, whatever. Every human being carries a feminine and masculine energy within them. Life cannot exist without feminine and masculine energy. Creation cannot exist without feminine and masculine energy dancing together in collaboration. Now, some of us have this lifetime chosen to be represented in more of the physical form that looks like a woman or a physical form that looks like a man. I love bringing the masculine energy through a masculine form. I'm totally there with you, Stacy. And one of the reasons why I don't focus so much on the feminine energy is because I believe both are needed 100% in their healthy states to create what it is we want to create on the planet. Unity, collaboration, and love will only be born when we honor feminine and masculine equally, the healthy versions of them collaborating together, right? Like, without going too much on a tangent, patriarchy is an unhealthy expression of a masculine energy. And all we have to do is just start looking for the healthy expression of it, to not throw men out of the club, but include, and when I say men, is the masculine expression of the masculine energy, right? So in my world, I don't use the feminine, masculine words too often, because, or I don't focus on like create from your feminine, because to me, they both must exist together at the same time. And yes, it's true that some of us have created more from the masculine energy than the feminine, which is why is this awakening of a divine feminine, and we are so in love with the divine feminine. But divine feminine cannot exist without a divine masculine. It cannot. And if you sway too much one into the other, you will be in the same experience that I'll be talking about today. Student versus master. Okay, Student versus mastery, student path versus mastery path. When I started to study scientific hand analysis and bring it into my work, bringing into my experience, I love this. I am grateful for internet connection. Rachel, I saw him with you. I actually ran a hard wire to my computer to make sure that the internet doesn't go out as I share this. Hello, Amy Elizabeth. So this magic ingredient. In hand analysis, the law of polarity is just, hand analysis is the beautiful way in which I got to learn a law of polarity, okay? We'll be talking more a little bit about that tomorrow. You can't have prosperity without luck. It's just a matter of where you focus and the fact that in either direction, you have abundance of one or the other. Where do you want to focus? Now, in hand analysis, every single thing, I am bringing hand analysis because it helps me illustrate the point today, okay? And that magic ingredient we are going to be talking about, we're already talking about. The way to be on purpose, the way to have everything you want, and also the way that I teach in my work, the way you get to see clearer what it is that you are here to teach, what it is that you are here to bring. Like, for example, if you are a service provider and you're talking about a niche, that this magic ingredient that I'm talking about today is going to give you an insight into what it is that you are teach about. It gives you an insight into what your niche is, which is really, really powerful. So when I started to learn about hand analysis, student path and a master path. Student path is the shadow expression of whatever of the lesson, which is what we're talking about today. The purpose, the gift, anything in hand analysis has two sides of it, okay? And one of the sides is the student path, which is where the shadow, which is where you get to keep learning over and over again something. And the mastery is where we all want to be. It's this beautiful, highest level of expression of who we are. And as human beings, it is ridiculous for us to constantly expect that we will be in one side of that constantly. We can strive to be there. We can definitely keep working towards it, and we will be there, but we cannot expect ourselves to stay there. Expecting to stay there is an invitation to beat ourselves up every time we move into the shadow, the student path. So when I started to learn that there is this one beautiful, beautiful part of who we are in hand analysis, which is called the life lesson. And the life lesson, I am looking for a new way to call it because life lesson was a scary thing to me. When I first learned about the life lesson in hand analysis, I was already tainted with other learnings of what life lesson means, right? And other people's definition of what lesson is. Now, this is how I want you to start hearing this. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Life lesson is the term from Richard, who created Unger, who created the system. I don't want to call it life lesson anymore, because at one point I was also taught that it's the key ingredient to being on purpose. The key ingredient to being on purpose. And all of a sudden, life lesson got lighter for me. The understanding of life lesson got lighter. Because life lesson, I will still keep calling it because again, I don't have another word. And from consistency of what I want you to hear, I'm going to use the word life lesson. Life lesson is some way of being, going back to the day one. There is a way of being, which is your purpose. But with that came also a way of being that you, at the soul level, wanted to master. And wanting to master it, you gave it to yourself at the soul level as this ever-evolving challenge you will constantly face. I want to read you a quote, all right? It's from this book, Goddess in Every Woman, which is like a Bible to me these days. It has been for a while. Life presents us with repeated opportunities to face what we fear, what we need to become conscious of, or what we need to master. Each time we cycle around the spiral path to the place that gives us difficulty, hopefully, we gain more consciousness and can respond more wisely the next time until we can finally pass through the nemesis place, at peace and in harmony with our deepest values and not be negatively affected at all. So, You can go back and listen to this portion. If you want me to, I can type in or take a picture of this quote. This is why I'm sharing this with you. Life lesson is what at the soul level is the challenge you gave yourself so you can get stronger, bigger, better at whatever it is you came here to express. So there is a certain way you came here to be, which is your purpose. There are certain people you came here to make, and you made agreement at the soul level, right, to co-create with. And then, even with understanding these two pieces, you keep still falling over something. You keep still banging your head against something. Something still keeps showing up in your life that you're like, why am I still in this? Why am I circling in the same spot over and over again? Well, this is the key that gave me a lot of freedom. It's not that it's over and over again. However, if I understand this life lesson from a place of evolution and always growth and pursuing mastery, then it's not like I'm spiraling in like this unless I choose to. It's constantly going like this in a circle, right? Going higher if you want to, getting bigger like a vortex. And every single time I pass by this point where my challenge shows up for me, because it's a lifelong challenge at the soul level, I constantly have a choice to be bigger than that challenge, to see it better, to spot it better, to make better choices, to be less triggered by it, to handle it in a way that serves my growth versus taking me down. So when I work with people, with my clients, one of the biggest pieces we focus on is this magic ingredient. It's this lifelong challenge, is your core wound. It's this experience your soul wanted to have to teach you that you are bigger than you think you are. It's this muscle you get to exercise of your resilience and your commitment and your love and your compassion, even discipline to constantly commit to growth. And I love when people, and this used to be me. I had this, so let me just use myself. It happens for my clients, but let me use myself. When will it ever stop? When will I ever get to a place where I can just, right? When will there be this place where I get to just be and everything magically happens for me? And at some point, as I was working with this lesson, learning and growing, seeing different shift in lesson, totally. As I was growing using hand analysis, what was really apparent to me, especially when I heard from one of my teachers, it's the key ingredient to being on purpose, I started to align with my growth through the lens of my challenge. So what was my blind spot became visible to me. I invited into my life and experience more of it. And I keep asking, show me the next evolution of this challenge and let me be so aware of it that no matter how it feels, I can face it so I can be on purpose ever more, so I can be of service ever more. Because if I stay like this, right? Remember spiral, or stay like this on a disc, I never grow. I never expand my reach. I constantly keep spinning, looking at the same thing, right? I feel like there is something happening. Dum, 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 dum. Here I am going, going, going. Hey, there is this challenge that I was born to be bigger than, that I was born to master. Poof, throws me off. Okay, here I am, come again, because I'm so persistent, right? And super disciplined and staying on track. Dum 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 dum. Oh my God, here it is again. Why am I facing the same thing over and over? But willingness to see it as a gift, willingness to see it as this way to be bigger, right? To be bigger in the world, whatever that means to you. That means bigger impact, be more of service, bring in more of the energy down through your being, allowing more to flow through you. If I am going to be open to that, I'm going to have to learn, and I choose to learn, how to keep spiraling up to a bigger version of this challenge. So let's say I'm going to give you hopefully I'm landing with you. I'll give you some examples now, okay? So remember I told you that I had this like wish, a desire that a young innocent woman that I was being at a time had, that at some point in my life there'll be this place where I get to stop, where things just will be easy and things will just be magical. And at some point I'll get to that place, I'll take a deep breath and I can rest. And I was constantly disillusioned that this place even exists. It doesn't exist for you and me. Because if you are on this path, if you are in this conversation, you have raised your energetic soul hand to say, I will be for constant expansion for life, which, by the way, is one of the universal laws. I will constantly be for expansion of life because life seeks expansion through me. And there are some other people who are asleep, and I will help them to the degree that I can, to the degree that I want to, but I am here to constantly be allowing more life to flow through me, be for a constant expansion of life. And one of the ways that I stand for is that we get to expand through money, which is, again, what we're talking about tomorrow, breaking the spell of money. But I keep bringing it in because it is about being prosperous and on purpose. So one of the ways that we get to invite more life in and be aligned with the universal law of life is always for life, for more expansion, we get to flow more of that through us. And in order to flow more of that through us, we get to keep going out that spiral, right? It goes higher and bigger. Every single time we face this life lesson, we get to be different with it. We get to be more in tune to it, spot it sooner, maybe acquire more tools along the way, right? And the more we do that, the more we can be on purpose. The thing that stops us from being on purpose is this secret ingredient, which is the challenge our soul has chosen for us to grow through. How do athletes get stronger? I mean, I love this example because it speaks so vividly and tangibly to growth. Athletes get stronger because they constantly exercise their muscle. I am running right now 5Ks 3 to 4 times a week, and I can watch my legs get stronger, right? And I mean, I've been pretty athletic throughout like late 20s, 30s, and now in my 40s, I'm 45. And I am committed to constantly getting stronger and stronger in my body so I can be a stronger vessel for the energy that wants to flow through me. But one of the ways that athletes get stronger is by constantly exercising the muscle. Yet we refuse to apply that so often to our growth. And we want more of purpose. We want more of clients or more of our expression in the world. Yet we constantly, and this is from my own experience and what I see with my clients, we want to ignore, right, avoid and pretend it doesn't exist, this one way that we have chosen at the soul level, that is the weight we get to exercise with, which is our life lesson. Hopefully I'm landing this with you. So what I see all the time, I did this for myself first, and then I started to play with this with my clients. We don't even focus on purpose. We talk about it at the very beginning, so we know where the North Star is, and then we work on the core wound, your life lesson. And I see this with my clients all the time, as little sense as it makes. Their core wound and their life lesson is what's standing between them and the next version, the next expression. I have a client right now who I love so dearly. She's amazing. She has accomplished something 20 years ago. She knows it's her purpose to do it again in a bigger way. And she just didn't know how to. She didn't know how to birth, which is how I call it, the highest soul level body of work. So when she started to work with me, I told her right away, this is the place we get to look at. And every single time she brought to me whatever she's standing in front of, because she kept taking committed, aligned action, new challenges were showing up. We got to work through them always through the lens of the life lesson. And every single time we cleared something that was absolutely 100% created by the life lesson. And every single time we cleared it, she went out, took aligned action, stretched, and now she is flying high. Flying high. Because, and there will be challenges she will keep facing because she's committed to doing the spiral, right? So she'll face the next level of the challenge, but she knows what to look for. She knows what to look for, right? So that magic ingredient is something that you even actually, and again, 100% is what I see with my clients. We have chosen our families and our birth environment to show us the deepest shadow expression of that life lesson. Why? So we can acquire some tools to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, right? It's sort of like I'm trying to find a really good example that will lend it even better. At the soul level, you said, this is how I'm going to be. This is who I'm going to choose to be this lifetime, which is your soul purpose. This is the frequency I'll bring in. But if you just could from birth, just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you would never have an opportunity to learn what you are really capable of, because everything would just come to you so easily. And I guarantee you, people who you watch, and I love hearing this too, things just come so easily to some people. No, they don't. They do not, because if you had a conversation with them, they would share with you a different way that they have either learned, and maybe their journey is different. Maybe they had a support system around them when they were little to teach them how to look at things differently. But then their challenge gets different as they keep getting bigger. Nothing is really easy for anybody. That is such a baloney. It gets easy because we choose it to be easy. And one of the ways we choose it to be easy is by starting to look at the shadow, like, that place that I mentioned at the very beginning, the thing we don't want to look at, the thing that we are ashamed of, the thing that causes shame, guilt, that causes self-worth, lack of self-worth, that causes us to not speak about the things that we really care about, that causes us to feel like a failure. All of those, by the way, are expressions of life lesson in hand analysis that I just named, right? And there are more. And sometimes people have more than one. I have more than one expression of my challenge, right? And I get to be aware of them at all times. We have chosen something at the soul level, right? To be the weight we get to lift all the time, to keep us strong, to keep us moving, so we can keep getting to know what are we really made of. I know every single time I choose a goal, and every single time that I set my intention on creating something, there is a certain way I do it, right? And I teach it in my mastery programs. There is a certain way I do it. And every time I do, I know that I will face challenges, and I ask for them. I literally ask that I see them faster, that I can spot them faster, and that I get stronger through every single one of them. I don't ask for money anymore. I ask for opportunities to meet the goal of money being in my life. I ask for the opportunities to be who I need to be, to exercise my muscle of be who I need to be, who I came here to be, at the level that I need to be, so that goal shows up in my experience because it's already here. It wouldn't be here if I didn't ask for it. So this magic ingredient is what is life lesson in hand analysis. It's the core wound. It's the deepest place where we wish and hope nobody ever sees about us. It's the place where we hide our gems, which is why I also use that as an entry point to help my clients identify who is this that you meant to collaborate with? What is their pain? What is that niche thing, right? And once we see it, we get to constantly be disciplined. And so many people don't love the word disciplined. I didn't like it at some point. I love the word discipline right now, because the more disciplined I am, which is sort of that masculine energy, the more my feminine energy can step in and receive the beauty that I'm creating, that I'm standing for. But it only can happen because I am disciplined, constantly keeping my focus and a way of being aligned with what it is that I'm looking to bring in. Constantly being vigilant about not asking that my lesson go away, not asking that I learned forever, right? That things get easy. I constantly keep asking, how can I meet my next level of challenge with more grace, more love, more compassion for myself and everybody who I called in to show it to me too. Because you will call in people who will show you. I call in clients who show me my lesson like this. And if I didn't know it, I would be spiraling down, right? Because you can't spiral down. But because I know what my lesson is, because I know and I keep getting to know it intimately, I know that whenever my clients show up and show me that, I can stand in the fire with them, because I know that it's just a reflection of something I've already overcome to a degree to which they need me to stand as an example for them. And it's the most beautiful thing, because then I get to raise my vibration and my experience to the next level. And that's how we work together. That's how we can be in a collaboration together, knowing that we are coming together, step number 2, for a beautiful collaboration, very often to show each other things or challenges we get bigger than, stronger than, more graceful through. One of my values is grace. It's in my chart, it's all my charts. I get to be more graceful through the next evolution of my challenge. How much more grace can I get through the next trigger? Some people call it a trigger, right? Our challenge will trigger us, and I ask to be triggered. Give me the trigger. Universe, clients, people collaborate with me in a way that I can see where I stop myself. Because the only way we get to spiral is when we see where we get stopped, so we don't do this. We can take the lid off and keep going higher and higher, right? Are you with me? All right. So let me just look at some of the messages that are showing up. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Rachel. Yeah. Shifting in the lesson constantly. And the beauty of recognizing that it's not like, what's the lesson I'm here to learn? You can ask yourself that question, like, why am I experiencing this? What is here for me to see it? Working with the tools that I'm working with, which is hand analysis, gene keys, and human design, which are the two supplements to hand analysis, my still most treasured tool, is there isn't many, right? There is a specific lens we get to focus through. And then we get to ask that question of how am I manifesting, right, this particular challenge, so I can see where I stop myself from growth in my purpose and from growth in receiving my purpose and prosperity, being prosperous and on purpose, right? And we don't have to look all over the place. Is it self-worth? Is it this? Is it that? It could be. However, it gives me, in my work, it gives me freedom, right? Can you see how I love freedom? I bring it into every single day. What gives me freedom is knowing this is the lens that I get to look through. And once I get to look through this lens, it gives me a lot more precise point to focus on. All of a sudden, the story, the belief shows up, and now I get to shift it. And what happens when we get to shift the belief, we get to practice being in this new frequency, this new vibration, until it becomes a new level that we are comfortable in, right? Which is something that I want to share with you today, something that the download that I got yesterday to invite you into. I'll share it in just a moment. It absolutely has to do with that. Alana asks, what about the growth mindset that is mindset of finding learnings and opportunities to grow in any situation? Let me know if I'm not being clear about that. Yes, every situation is an opportunity for growth, right? Every single situation. So and tell me if this comes through clearly, Alana. The difference, every single situation is an opportunity for growth, 100%, right? And every single situation, if we can look at it through a particular lens, it points us back to our life lesson, right? Which in Gene Keys is called the shadow, right? Human design has its own version of it as well. Yeah. Yeah, freedom, grace, and wonder. I love that. Yeah, freedom and grace. Freedom was one of my values, and grace is just in my chart. So it became one of my values. So is freedom is actually in my charts as well. So awesome. I love it. I love it. Keep sharing with me what's landing about this. So this magic ingredient, again, the way I want you to hear this, because this is what gave me the most freedom and access to it. This magic ingredient is what I have chosen at the soul level to master this lifetime. Keep going, spiraling up through experiences, right? Up and out, because life is more about more expression and expansion, right? Can you see? Up and out. And I chose that. So it becomes the muscle that I get to exercise. And it also is the places where we get to get stopped in our expression, in our money. The question was related to the student path. Yeah, but the student path, so hopefully this is explaining it. The student path of that lesson is what we usually will be by in default. So if we know what it is, and again, this doesn't take from whatever I'm sharing what works for you. I find that it works for me, which is why I'm such a strong stand. I find that it works for my clients ever and ever more, proves itself to be true, that when we focus on this through this one lens, which is your life lesson, right? The shadow side of the life lesson, not the mastery, but the student path of the life lesson, then we can focus specifically through that. We are being given information about what it is that I'm learning here, because it's always connected to the life lesson. Instead of wandering around and asking and saying, I don't know, we can focus it. And once we focus on that, every single challenge we face, I can pretty much guarantee that it's connected back to the life lesson. back to the life lesson. And the life lesson and mastering our life lesson. Again, so let me give you some of them as we keep going through what I'm sharing today. As we keep going, as we keep mastering our life lesson, it gets to be our ally. Because right now, the way I work it, I call it in and I ask it, show me how you're showing up for me right now so I can be bigger, so I can be more expressed, so I can be more of service, so I can flow more energy and light through me, be more of service, have more impact, receive more of everything I need and require, including money. And how is that life lesson right now showing up for me to show me where I'm stopping myself? Right? It is it was such a gift when I saw that for myself, because I no longer beat myself up for feeling like I'm not worthy, or creating cycles of shame, cycles of guilt, cycles of separating myself from my intuition. All of those are expression of lessons. Going into powerlessness, right? I could go straight into through my lesson and say, thank you for showing me where I am stopping myself right now and what my next growth edge is, right? That's how I got to make friends with what up until then was something that I didn't want to be. It was the shadow side of me, right? It was the shadow. It was the shadow side of me, it was the shadow side of my student path, where again, it doesn't feel good. Powerlessness, shame, guilt, being excluded from a community, not being paid, not being recognized for your gifts, all of that, right? Those are some examples of the lessons. And you can say, well, doesn't everybody have some part of that? Yes, everybody does. However, if there is a particular archetype that you came here to embody in your purpose, that comes with a beautiful lesson, that is also an archetype that came here to show you how to use your muscle in a particular way, why wouldn't you want to know that, right? Why wouldn't you want to just focus on that and channel all your learning and all your growth through that? You don't have to, but that's what I found is the most beautiful, most powerful way to keep breaking through to the next place where I get to evolve to. And I know there is never a place I will stop. There is never a place where I get to and I don't ask myself what's next. I know that for myself because I'm growth oriented and I invite growth oriented people into my life. There is never a place where, oh, when this happens, I get to breathe. No, when this happens, I get to be somebody who now wants the next evolution, the next expression of who I am, right? That's the beauty. Purpose and prosperity in a way that I am teaching you in this 5-day challenge, and the way that I'm asking you to take on, if you choose to, in this 5-day experience, has no limits. Has no limits. Absolutely none, except for the limits you are breaking through to go to the next expression. And the beautiful thing is that it comes with inspiration and energy, and it pulls you forward, it calls you in. It calls you when you come from this experience of show me the place where I show me my life lesson. Where is my next, like, what is the challenge I'm working through? What is my breakthrough that I get to through to the next level? All of a sudden there is energy in it that I am given through the experience, so I get to keep going to the next level. It keeps on giving. So keep putting messages in the thread. I will answer them in a minute. I want to invite you to something. So I know there are people who are watching and listening and tuning in who are getting sparks of something from me. Maybe you've been watching me. I know there are many people who've been watching me for a long time, and you just haven't stepped into working with me in whatever way that you are called. You just haven't. I am calling you forth and inviting you to actually take a step forward towards it. Because if you keep watching me, there is something in my frequency that you desire that I can support you with, period. Okay? For those of you who feel called to, I had something else planned to invite you into, but yesterday when I was by the creek, I got the download to step into something myself that I get to bring you into. It's going to be a high vibration experience, and I will bring it forth and manifest it if enough of the people that I want to work with say yes to it. So here it is. Ready? I don't even have a sales page for it. I have nothing. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to ask you to let me know if you want in. When you want in, I'll send you the next step. Who is this for? This is for you if you have been experiencing some level of stuck. Maybe you take 2 steps towards something and then 2 days later and you're like, I'm bored. I don't want to do this anymore. Something happens, shows up in your face, and you get withdrawn from whatever commitment you had. This could be 5 days into it, 7 days into it, 10 days into it. You give up. You stop yourself. You say, oh, that's maybe not for me. It's too difficult. For some reason, you are not able to stay with something long enough to see the fruits of it. This is also for the people who are looking for a high degree of commitment and accountability, which means you will be held accountable to the highest version of who you are by a community that's led by me. This is for you if you are a creative who just loves to be all over the place, constantly focusing on what's not working, what's the next thing that you're being pulled up to what, two separate things, by the way. So the creative, right? Constantly being pulled by the next shiny object. This is for you if you're a business owner, if you're being pulled by the next shiny object. Oh, maybe I'll try this, or maybe I'll try that. That didn't work. It can't be it. I'm going to try this, right? This person said that. Ooh, let me go check that out. Next certification, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You constantly find yourself being pulled by different things. This is also for you if things keep happening, pulling you away from your goal and your vision of whatever it is you want to create in your world, being prosperous and on purpose, whatever your version of that is. If you've been wanting to birth the highest soul level body of work and you get a little traction and then you stop because something happens and you focus on what didn't work, right? This is for you. So are you ready? It's an experience. You get to be with me for 30 days. 30 days you and I get to be together. It's a very tight container. 30 days you and I get to come on Zoom or via phone. I'll be on Zoom every day. That's my commitment to you. You can dial in via the phone. It's going to be 10 to 15 minutes every single day with 1 hour training a week. So it's 10 to 15 minutes every single day where you get to tune into this freaking energy that's explosive. That's explosive, that doesn't stop, that wants to pour into you. You get to tune in with me for 10, 15 minutes of the wisdom that's coming through. I will be bringing in quotes that are keeping my attention high, my vibration high on creating what I am here for, and that are creating miracles in my life. And I will be bringing in the wisdom that wants to be channeled through me for you. So every single day, you get to start with a commitment to yourself and the highest version of you. Every single morning, you and I get to get with a group of people who are willing to and choose to step into this way. You will not be stopped after this. This 30 days will create something inside of you that you will not be stopped after this. You have not known this part of you. I promise you that. And you get to step into this, which is why it takes something. So every single day, you and I will be on Zoom. You can dial in through a phone, 10 to 15 minutes. We get on in the morning and we work through a very specific thought for the day that will keep you in a high vibration. Okay? There will be a 1 hour training every single week. On top of that, I'm leading circles. They're called Sacred Success Circles. My paid clients get to be a part of them. And if you are my paid client and you are in the circles right now, I invite you to, and I will welcome any of the words of what it's like for you to be in a circles. Group of women come together and we bring in the energy and the intention. We work through something that's current right now happening for all of us. And that's 3 circles every single month, 1 hour live. And one of those circles is Get It Done session. So you get to come as a community again in this beautiful space and we get to clear something, anchor something new so you get to keep moving forward, okay? Something means whatever it is you are facing right now because I draw from the collective. So that circle, and let me just say, the circles alone, right now, my clients are getting it as a bonus. It's 3 circles per month, 1 hour every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. We get together. And the energy that I bring in is at very high caliber because I constantly do work on my vibration, but not just meditating or not just, if you can see, my work isn't just about the aspect of me that's in spirit. The work that I bring in has to do with very tangible, being in aligned action every single day because you're in a physical body for a reason, right? Which is why we keep yourself connected to a commitment. So it's 30 days together with me. Every single morning, we come together for 10, 15 minutes via Zoom call, or you can dial it from the phone. If you miss a day, you can watch it later. So don't get tied up in that, okay? And once a week, we'll come in for a 1 hour training. As a bonus, you'll get the Sacred Success Circle, which is another layer and a way to get into this work with me. As you can tell, I am pouring myself into this. And I had to ask myself 10 times over, do I really want to do this? But when it first came through my body, it was so strong that I'm like, all right, Anna, let's do this. So the investment for this experience is $1,000. The whole entire experience, the investment is $1,000. One-time investment, $1,000. You get to be with me every single day. I get to hold you high. 10 to 15 minutes. We do a Zoom call every single morning, so you get to start your day or wherever you are with a high vibration, because it's going to be morning Mountain Standard Time, Mountain Standard Time, right? And in America, it will be a morning for most people. For other parts of the world, it may be a different time. But once a day, you get to connect to this very high vibration. Through this connection to a very high vibration, you get to make a declaration that you carry through for the next 24 hours until we meet again in a very particular way. Right? So that's the 30 days. On top of that, I'm gifting you with that Sacred Success Circle, which is $497 investment as a standalone. Right now, it only exists as a bonus for my one-on-one clients, but it's going to be existing as a separate investment, separate way to engage with me at $497. I'm gifting it to you right now if you step into this 30-day commitment. The working name of it is 30 Day to Awaken the Creator in You. 30 Day to Awaken the Creator in You. It's just what I came up with this morning. And the name is what it is, okay? The vibration of this experience is this very powerful commitment to you being prosperous and on purpose by committing to yourself very powerfully for the next 30 days. I have found with my clients and myself that whenever I clear something, see something, implement something, like right now, Mikey agrees. Whatever I'm working through, whatever you are seeing, whatever ahas you have, they're brilliant and they're beautiful. Unless you anchor them in your life powerfully and in a disciplined way, they will be a far memory of something you did one time. And my commitment is that we actually create a shift and transformation in the world. Because the more of us do this work on the inner plane, the more of us can bring it out and vibrate out into the outer plane. So the polarization that's happening in the world right now will no longer hold the frequency. There'll be nothing to attach it to, because we bring in so much unity within ourselves, right, and vibrate it out into the world, that the polarization cannot exist. So I am going, if you're in and you know you want to be in, send me a message, private message, or respond to the email, the reminder email that went out. I am going to be sending more information about it in a 4 p.m. Mountain Time, the email that goes out with a replay link. I'll send out more information. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, I've opened up some time in my schedule. I will put a link to my calendar, book a session, so you can learn more. I want to learn more about where you are. I only work with people who I vibrate with, who vibrate with me, who I know I can help, and who I really want to have fun with, and who I want to make the beautiful beings that they are come out into the world, into the space that I want to live in, right? So it's very selfish on my part. I work with people who I want to be more of who they are for the world that I want to create. So that's my invitation that I downloaded yesterday. I'm so excited about it, and the people who say yes to it, because if you say yes to this, you are serious about being prosperous and on purpose. You really are. I mean, to make that such commitment, I made a similar commitment to my mentor for 90 days. 90 days. And we are in the end of a 30-day container, which is why I think I got this download, because the shifts that are happening for me and the people that are in it are life-changing. 30 days, we committed to something, very specific thing every single day, life-changing. You get to be in that with me. I have never done this before this way. I probably never will. And those of you who have done those I'll never do again programs know that I actually mean it. I do this pop-up experiences and I never ever create them again. I love to create. I create with the energy, and then people who are meant to be in it show up, and those who are not meant to be in it don't. So if you are interested, let me know. Send me a message, my private message. You can send me an email and I'll send you the next step to it. By the way, the experience starts on September 1st, and only the circle as a gift is only available as a bonus as long as this challenge is in place. So it goes away on Friday. Okay, these are just some details. If you want to know more, just let me know. Send me an email. Again, I don't have a sales page. I don't even have a link for you to make a payment. But if you want to be in it, let me know, because I'm going to ask my Lana, my assistant, to create some of these things for me. So as we wrap up about this, thank you for allowing me to share this with you and inviting you in this opportunity, because I know that you are already having ahas and you are just itching to bring it into your life in a physical form. Those aha manifested. So as we close, again, we're going to go over a couple minutes. I acknowledge that. Thank you for your time and attention. I'll go into the message thread in just one moment. I want to make sure you walk away with the aligned action from this place where we talked today, right? Aligned action from the place today. You had one for day 1, for day 2. I love what I'm getting from them so far. For day 3, what I want you to do is just like you did for the day 1, right? You focused on something, a very particular way of being that you had a memory of, that gave you life, that sparked you, that felt really good. I want you to do the same thing about some way of being that you are right now, not even in your childhood, but right now observing it's not okay for you. So I want you to watch yourself in the environment that you are in, how you interact with your loved ones. And I want you to ask right now, as we are here in this space, ask to be shown. Ask to be shown the way that you are right now in that student path of your lesson. What does it look like for you? Ask for a tidbit that will have you know a layer of it, an indication of what it is. Once you have it, I want you to tie it back into a memory from your childhood. Something in your childhood was already there from that way of being that wasn't okay. Okay? Something in your childhood, there'll be a memory that comes for you that will have you know that wasn't okay to be. It wasn't okay to be. I have several, and because I have several messages, I had several lessons, I was able to uncover several places in which I was born into an environment that, with all the love and compassion and care and amazing parents that we all have, they still were able to bring in experiences that showed me why it's not okay to be who I was being in a moment, right? It's different than your purpose. It's different. It's actually a way that either created a shame, created guilt, created a sense of I'm not enough, created a sense of I have no control here, created a sense of I can't get it right. So it'll be this like underlying of this like lower frequency experience, and you will see it by tuning into some experience you are in right now in your life, in the environment you are in right now, that feels very similarly. Bring it back to your childhood, get a sense of that. That is most probably, right, the place that is letting you know what your next growing edge is. Isn't it beautiful? Because no matter how much you tune into your purpose, no matter how much you want to be of service and call in your divine appointments, if you don't get intimately connected to your life lesson, the student path of your life lesson, the muscle that you brought in this lifetime to get stronger through, you will keep doing this instead of this. And you might have already been there. And our goal is that we keep expanding and going up and expanding, going up and expanding. And sometimes this life lesson shows up in this really powerful way where we're like, how did I even manifest this accident, or this like powerful way, meaning it's really rocks your world. That's when it really wants your attention. That's when it's really showing you, hey, you haven't been paying attention to me. Here I am right now for you. So I'm inviting you to really look deeply. As a third step of our challenge, look at this one way of being. What is it? And I want you to come back and share. So look for the email with the replay. Look for at 4 p.m. I post the image right here on the Facebook that says share your day 3 challenge insight and experience. In the email, there'll be also more information about the invitation that I made for you today, if you choose to accept it. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for all the miracles. It's going to stretch me to show up every single day in the morning. So guess what? I will be in even a higher vibration and frequency and inspiration than I show up right now, because I am going to stretch myself to meet you wherever you are and a step ahead of you. That's my commitment as a leader, as a guide, right? Beautiful. Now, day 4 is tomorrow. We get to talk about money specifically, even though I have woven in a conversation about prosperity. And if you're following what I'm sharing, I give you a tidbit about prosperity in every single transmission. Tomorrow, we get to specifically talk about what it means to be prosperous and what is this money spell we are here to break right now as a conscious, awake, and aware being. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing this beautiful energy with me in this beautiful space. I am wishing you a very fruitful and productive digging and searching and realizing and noticing. I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't see you earlier in the thread, just take a deep breath, close your eyes, Just for a moment and with your breath, just give yourself a gratitude for showing up, for doing this work, for stretching, for doing the work most people aren't willing to, because it's not, transformation is yucky and it's messy and it doesn't feel good until it does. But you are showing up to be prosperous and on purpose and help me create this new world we get to experience in a physical form. Thank you. Mwah. I'm going to go back to the comments and read them now. So thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye for now.